Alright, War 5, Season 35, going up against PALO today, and I only have 2 fights. I had a work barbecue, so I asked my officers if they could limit my fights this war, if it was possible, and they held me to 2, which was pretty awesome. I really appreciated it. So, I have this Sersi on path 9, and it's hazard shift, bleed, shock. I've never taken these fights over here before, so I really didn't know what to expect, and I haven't used Kingpin over here before. I don't think I've ever used Kingpin in war, but I have the hood synergy with me, so I should be purifying all of the bleeds and shocks that I get. And I checked out her abilities. I know that she gets glancing when she throws heavy attacks, but I wanted to see if there was a cooldown to it, and it turns out there was. So I can't stun her because it's one eye open, and I figured that I would have to bait heavies for openings, which would automatically trigger her glancing. But then when it goes on cooldown, that would be my best time to actually land some damage, because I can't really punish her special 1, and I didn't want to try to get all creative with it and try to do the dash in thing that I've seen some people do, because I haven't practiced it. And I was doing this fight and the next one in the morning after a barbecue, and I was very much hungover, so my main goal was just to survive and get through them and make it as simple as possible. So I just want to stick to baiting her special 1s, and I want to try and get myself into overpower while she has glancing, and then I don't want to let her get to a special 2, because if it hits me, it can put that incinerate on me, and I really wasn't sure if KP would be able to purify the incinerate. I know that he has 100% purification ability accuracy with the hood, but I've seen some debuffs not purify in this fight, so I really wasn't sure why that happened. I don't know much about KP. So yeah, that's pretty much the gist of it. Just bait heavies, try to deal my damage when the glancing buff drops off, and not let her get to a special 2. Alright, so I made it out of that one alive. It wasn't pretty, but I got it done. Now next up I have this bishop here. I was supposed to take this fight with CGR. That was what was assigned, but my CGR is 6-star R1, and I have no gold. So they ended up switching it to Warlock. And I was really hoping that this guy placed with willpower, because everybody takes this fight with CGR, so willpower wouldn't matter in that one, but it turns out that he did not place with willpower. And once I realized that in this fight, I was like, alright, well, I'm in for a fun one here. So I wait out the shock mode, and I start hitting him, and I realize he doesn't have willpower, and I'm like, jeez. I'm like, well, I don't want to put a shock on him there. I ran in way too early, got hit by the heavy. I was like, I don't want to use my special 1 because I don't want to put shocks on him. So I want to stick to special 3 if possible in this fight, and then he throws that, and I try to dash out of the way. I get hit with it. Now I'm in a corner, so I have to throw my special 2. I know it's going to put a bunch of incinerates on me and shocks, both from the node and his abilities, but if I stayed in that corner and tried to just wait it out, I probably would have died. So I got myself out of there. I got myself some spacing. Now it's switched back to shock mode, and I don't want him to throw this special, so I'm just staying turtled. I'm not going to leave myself open. Most of the time, the AI won't throw a special if you're blocking like this, but it doesn't work all the time, so I'm just glad that it worked there. And now I'm trying to work my way up to my special 3. So I'm going to drop this, and it's really not going to deal a whole lot of damage. It's not going to deal as much as I wanted it to. And that's because I let the nerves of steel get out of control. So now I have to start hitting his block to remove all the armors that gives him. Otherwise, I'm not going to deal a whole lot of damage in the fight, and it's going to make the fight even longer. So it's switched back to shock mode now. I'm hitting his block to remove those, and once I get him down to 0, it should be about the perfect time where it switches back to bleed and I can actually hit him again. So got him down to 0. I can land hits. Now I 4-hit there, and I blocked so he wouldn't throw his special, and he still ended up throwing it into my block anyway, which I was pretty annoyed by. But now I have to run away while his steady release is up so he can't place incinerates on me. And by the time that goes away, we're already into the shock phase. So again, I need to wait it out. But now it's switched back to bleed. I'm going to work myself up to my special 2, and I'm going to finish the fight. And I managed to make it out of that one alive too. So that was the extent of my war. It was pretty sweet being able to just chill for the weekend and not have to worry about war fights. And looks like we ended up winning this one, 150-7 to 137, and what were they, 15 at the time. So good luck to PALO for the rest of the season. And this was a win for us, but 150-7 is not good in my opinion. We need to drop that 7 down quite a bit. Maybe get back to 2 or 3, maybe even 4. But yeah, that's all she wrote. Thank you for watching.